I know, y'all. I'm ashy. I don't care. I don't care. Okay? It'd be too hot. It's nice today, though. Besides, I don't care. Listen, whatever. Listen, okay? Just play with me. Anyway, same old cards. Same old cards. Because I ain't got them out here. Alright, what up, though? Hope y'all are having an amazing day, morning, afternoon, night. Day, morning, afternoon, whatever. Alright. What up? What's going on with the collective? What's going on with the collective? What's going on with the collective? I'm going to take a message from here. Because it'd be like one main line. And this is a short read. And it's just... This is... What page? I don't know what page it is. It depends on what comes out. If it's like literally all folly, that is like... Look at that. I'm so... Actually, I don't care. If it's literally like all folly... That is just like so full of folly... I'm just not going to put it on the first page. Just put it on the folly page. What is this letter? What is that? Something showing up in the camera. I don't know what that is though. I can't identify exactly what that is. It's annoying me. It's somewhere over here. It's like a barcode or something. I don't know. Give me a message for the collective. Oh, we got one. You are one who stands by someone who needs you. It says that you guys stand by somebody that needs you. Some of you guys are going to suffer some sort of a great loss, but you're going to overcome the grief. Some people tend to sit in grief, so there's this great loss that happens in your life, but you guys are going to overcome some kind of grief. You are loved by everybody that comes in contact with you. Is there anything else here? I thought there was one more. Yeah, your personality will get you by. Use it more. I've been telling everybody that too. There's a lot about like needing to have some sort of humor in your personality to get around what all the stuff is going on. Like literally people have taken like, they've gone to trifling levels, okay, to do certain things, right? So you kind of have to laugh through it until, you know, folks get their just due or whatever's going on. I don't know, you know, because like I said, our plan is to really go to another place in terms of privacy. Because I feel like it's a little bit too much. Like me, you shouldn't be able to, I mean, I get for business purposes why they have to do certain things like maybe like insurance quotes and stuff like that, but I don't understand why the general public got your address. Like this is ridiculous to me. And they got pictures, people just show up. It's crazy. That needs to be changed, right? But you also have to look at the intent behind things sometimes too. You know, 313 black women lost their job. What, 313,000 black women out of the workforce? Maybe we should expand beyond government, right? But, you know, I believe there's something behind that. That ain't out of the blue sky, honey. Okay? So I don't know who y'all talking about them birth rates are down. Ain't nobody having your babies. That's what y'all counting on, folks having babies because they ain't got jobs. Not us. Now, some of them fools might. And you ain't getting that from me. So if you thought you was putting us out of work so we could have babies and make more slaves, you done lost your mind. I just want to make that clear right now. Yeah, ain't nobody got no money for no kids. You tell us to have kids and you take jobs away. You know the status of the black family anyway, right? Stop depending on them. I'm sorry. Especially with the government. Because it's like, I don't know. If somebody were to really look at that and find, like with a fine-tooth comb, there are things that overlap in terms of jobs. However, there's also room for expansion because there's so many opportunities in terms of holes that need to be filled, positions that need to be filled and created when it comes to government, right? Like we literally need people, these people should not be out of work. What they should be doing is maybe staff in DCF, right? New positions where they can have people specifically go check these homes, right? We shouldn't be waiting 3, 4, 5 hours online for people and all this other stuff. So I applaud those that do it. I have. But at the end of the day, everybody we should be cross-trained. That's just I've always been that way. I have never in my life worked at just one job, and it shouldn't have been that way at all. I shouldn't have never had to do it like that, but I'm cross-trained. You can literally put me in any doggone setting, and I'm going to perform, okay? That's how it goes. And I'm not saying everybody else can't do that. I know that we can, but I think in terms of thinking, we should always have that in the back of our heads. It's just like getting an art degree. You need to have a backup or be really good at something that is legal other than prostitution or, Yo, I saw a commercial, I almost passed out. The girl said, "You don't have to do toe content." I thought that was so funny. I thought that was cute. But just stuff like that. So I'm just saying, y'all ain't do that for no reason. But we ain't having babies because your birth rate's low. Our family structure is not in the way right now. So, you have to make an environment healthy for women to want to have children. And we don't have that. This is like Lord help me. This is one of the scariest times I've ever seen in my life to have a child. This to me is worse than 2008. Okay? Like when we had that big giant recession or whatever. This is worse. This is not the environment. Maybe for some of you, some people don't care. Some people will have babies in the middle of a war. They'll have 10, 15 of them, and then they'll say, oh, they got to look around for food. Because you wasn't thinking about that when so I think all of us collectively, if you look at the numbers, have been very conscious or much more conscious. I mean, last I looked, the teenage pregnancy numbers were down also. That's because young women decided, hey, you know what, maybe I want to travel a little bit. Maybe I want to travel a little bit. I don't want to be stuck home with a baby, and some dude that's just going to take off. You have some girls out there that literally have never even been to Miami. Like, they never been. What's that party I used to go to? I used to go to Ultra? I used to go to the techno parties, and I go to the hip hop parties, right? So I was in Miami. When was that? Spring break Miami, whatever it was, right? Always. You got some young girls that never even had a chance to do that. They don't know what it's like to get on a plane. All they know is taking the carriages over on the bus to the mall, right? That's all they know. So I feel like we've learned a lot, and I feel like black women and especially younger black women, like they see a future. I think where the disconnect happens is where it extends too long and it turns into thoughtism. I'm not trying to be funny, but you gotta be able to let these dudes go. Be able to see past tomorrow. You don't need no parting gift from every boyfriend. What do I mean by that? You don't need no baby from every boyfriend. Because it's energy. It's energy that is interruptive later on in your life. I'm trying to tell you. I'm just trying to tell you. Now, I'm gonna cut this off because it's 7 minutes and 33 seconds, and I feel like it's a message for the girls, but just some perspective. Women, we don't want to just sit home and have babies no more. Like, I've been doing that since the teenage rates are down. Ain't nobody having babies at like 6 no more and all that crap, whatever y'all was doing. That's why y'all see people having babies later. But their birth rates are down, right? They need some more slaves out there. That's all I'm saying. That's my opinion. It ain't just our people, right? They looking for slaves, period. That's what they're looking for. They need a workforce. So they want us to have babies, but then you give us an environment that's effed up and it's uncomfortable to have a baby, right? This is not a recipe for children, this nonsense that we got going on over here. It's not. So if y'all want babies and you want the place populated, you're gonna have to do something about it. This is not working. It's not. People are unhappy. People are uncomfortable. There's 1% of the people in the country or the world or whatever. Ain't the 1%. Those are the happy people. The other folks, we ain't faring too well. Okay, so all that mess, you're gonna have to make the recipe better. We're gonna have to be cross-trained. You talking about we wrote 313,000 black women out of the workforce. There are other jobs if you want one. Create your own business, right? There's lots of things we can do. We're very educated women. We are, but you need to be cross-trained. You shouldn't just be dependent on a government job. When I was working for the government, I was also working for this one. I did listen, okay? I ain't never had just no one job. I just never felt comfortable like that. Never. But that's just me. I don't know. I've been accused of being a workaholic. But I also know I ain't got nobody to depend on. Like, even when I was married, I still had 2 jobs. Right? And we all know how that turned out. I'm going to tell y'all some stories about that too, but not yet. I'm going to have to reserve those because those are I got a lot of stuff I ain't told y'all. I mean, child, what I tell you is mountains upon mountains of nonsense. What I'm telling you, what I'm going to share with y'all, not right now, but what I'm going to share with you, it backs up my theory. Like, y'all be trying to make people just have babies for no reason. Right? Let me just say something. If you're like 18 years old, 16, 18 years old, and you have like 4 kids already, Your family don't care about you. I'm being real. Either it's a trend that needs to be broken, they don't care about you, because I can wit firsthand. This girl kept having baby after baby, and the family would never say nothing. They would talk crap about it, but then everybody would sit her down and say, "Yo, what are you doing?" Come to find out, her mama was the same way. Her mama did it because her mama wanted to take the kids for the money. So, you know, that welfare money I was talking about. So what they do is they make you have baby after baby. They know all them kids gonna drive that girl crazy, and they also know there's a great chance that mama gonna have to take one of them and get that check. So this is a hustle, and a lot of women don't want. That's why they try and get them young now. Because if you know, we ain't doing that. All right, y'all, you keep them pregnancy rates down as teenagers. Take a trip before you go and do all this nonsense. Because you have these babies, you see your little friends that you meet later on. Oh, I'm going to Miami. I'm going to get me a new weed for Miami. They ratchet, yes. But if you in your 20s or something like that. But I mean, I was in my whole I was like, I don't know. I was young. But you can't do that stuff when you got a baby. Especially if you got one of the mamas that ain't having it. If your mama partying like you partying, you ain't nobody babysitting your baby. You're going to be home with that baby. But that is when we end up with chicks giving their kids to the other folks, and then you give them to somebody irresponsible, and then you end up at the traffic stop with the 2 dead children wrapped up in plastic bags. So we're trying to avoid that. Why y'all want us to have babies so bad with an uncomfortable environment? Why are all these black women out of jobs? Are we too stuck to government jobs? Do we need to expand? Do we need to learn markets and be able to be a part of jobs that don't have unions connected to them? Because a union is not always going to protect you. They can't always protect you. And on top of that, unions right now are dealing with a lot of outstanding issues when it comes to hostile employees. What do I mean by that? Those who are troublemakers within departments. They're dealing with those people. And believe it or not, those people are costing them a hell of a lot of money. As a matter of fact, it's actually costing the union a bad reputation, is what I feel like. And I know they're not happy about that, because there are some great people there in the union. I was in the union and I worked my ass off. So I wasn't one of them ones stealing and carrying on, but you got the folks that do it. And that can be any society, like, or any profession. Like, you know, you got a good preacher, the bad preacher. You know, you got the union member who's great, and then the other one's the a-hole. They're going to go in people's information, and, you know, they're going to sell them. They're going to do all, you always have people like that. But at this point, they're literally tarnishing their reputations of these unions so badly that new business owners, if they even hear of it, they're like, no, we're not gonna do that, because it's too much of a hassle. You have to keep people who are unproductive and troublemakers. And I think that's why these people will get up there, say, you know what, I'm gonna take my little company, and if there's a fee to leave your city or state, that's what I'm gonna do. At this point, this is too much. And then it leaves a bad stain on your state, because typically, in some cases, it's somebody from your state who's a part of that union who did this crap. So we're gonna get the hell up on out your state, period. So you gotta be very careful about the people you hire. And once you see trends, you have to address them immediately. All right? So you have somebody who's gonna feed this nonsense, or they're gonna stop the nonsense. Got too many people feeding it. So that's why people don't want unions. All right? So you guys make sure that you are cross-trained. Make sure that you got more than, I don't know, get 2 forms of income legal. None of that other stuff. You ain't got to do toe content. I thought that was so funny. Child, that's funny. But no. Anyway, that was just a thought. I'm gonna leave it there. I don't know. I'll put this on my other page. This is like, I'm gonna put this on Zen Whispers, because this is like, it's not a tarot read. It's really just me talking about something with a treed up background, talking with the trees. All right. Anyway, I love you guys. I'll see you in a little bit. Bye.